our classes that we've done, and we talked a lot about chokes and double carotid artery chokes. And today we kind of emphasize like the pros and cons of our choice of grip. So all the techniques that we've done have used this really deep collar grip, thinking of the neck as our little box. When we want to do our cross collar choke, it's nice to think about having your hands at the back part of that box as two corners, so it really ensures that the blade of your wrist on either arm is cutting across the double carotid arteries and getting the blood choke. But there's consequences, right? Because some chokes aren't as effective when you have that deep collar grip, like when we were doing the loop hold, or like a quasi loop choke or a loop crank, if you will. And so we'll talk about that in a second, I guess. So we'll start from the guard. That's what we've been doing. And we had a lot of different guard breaks or guard posture breaks. That's like the outside one coming on into the inside. And then we had like a baseball grip style where we open it up and can pull down as well. Now there's another thing too that we've been talking about, and that's loosening up the fabric of the gi, either at the collar or even getting the tail out of the way so that I can always utilize that as another choking device if my two hands aren't working. So again, we'll break down the posture, and then we'll start to get that really deep cross collar grip that allows me to do the three variations that we've been studying the last few weeks. The first was kind of implementing that loop hold or loop crank, where I now take my other arm, and then eventually to my own elbow, which I don't know if the cameraman wants to move around so they can see that. So I'm just grabbing, it's like a modified loop hold. And if I was doing a more traditional loop choke, I'd be a little bit more shallow so that this part of the fabric's cutting off the carotid artery, and I'm able to loop and use my forearm, either this one or this one, to finish off the actual choke. But we're doing purposely a very high grip so that when we go for our hold, we either neck crank them, maybe get a sweep, or if they pop out, this is the one that we did today, I trace along the back, grab some fabric, and I can finish with my traditional cross collar choke. Okay, so again, always breaking down the posture. In this series, we're thinking about a very deep collar grip, grabbing again, breaking down posture, grabbing to my elbow if I can. She starts to come out because I can't finish the crank or the sweep. So I'm just tracing up the body, up the shoulder blade, or whatever that's called, I don't know. I guess a shoulder blade. And then as she's pushing along my elbow, I'm allowing that to help me get across. Now, if I'm on her jaw, that sucks. So I try to get underneath the jaw, bring her to me, and finish off the choke. Okay. And then we had very, very originally this type of grip, and this tail was out. And so you can imagine that this doesn't work, and then that doesn't work. You still have this tail and this deep grip that then you can do a modified double cross or double lapel choke. So this grip is really nice for those type of options if I know that's where I want to go. Again, if I do a little bit more shallow, and I can do more of a traditional loop choke, where I'm now like turning it into what we call like a one-arm gi variant of a guillotine, right? A guillotine is a one-arm double carotid artery choke where I have one part of my arm cutting off the carotid artery, and then that same arm, just a different part of my arm, is cutting off the second carotid artery. So a traditional guillotine choke. But I can do that in the gi by doing a more shallow grip, right? Not going purposely here, but going here, so that now when I start to loop around and cut the head, the fabric is cutting and my forearm will be on the other carotid artery, and I can get the double carotid artery. And that's a traditional loop choke. Okay? So those are all the things that we covered. I don't know if I need to do any of that again. I hopefully let's watch the video if we need to. And then there's the other two videos that have a little bit more detailed instruction. But I guess for the one that we didn't have a full video on, again, even if you have a traditional loop that you're doing more shallow, you come in, you try to do it, they get out of it, I can switch to that high grip, switch my hand or my arm from my elbow to up here by the neck fabric. She keeps pushing on my elbow, and I can finish with that cross collar. That was the new one that we had his own video. Okay, so next week we'll still be working guard. We'll just do some more arm bars and more chokes from it. Okay, thanks so much.